What's going on, car guys and car gals? It's Lou Ramirez, the car guy.
It's Frelin Art Subprime Hero.
And we are excited to be back with a DealerCast 2.0 episode with the one, the only Larry Bruce. And right up next to him, for rhyming's sake, we have the incredible, the one, the only Jeff
Lou.
Welcome to the show, everybody. Welcome to the party, guys.
Boys.
Happy Monday. Excited to be able to be here, getting everybody's week set up for success. So pumped up that we are just keeping these conversations going. Of course, very, very stimulating conversations, especially for people that are trying to re-correct this ship, which is the auto industry, which has kind of gotten a little bit off course with how we take care of people, how we pay attention to how we do it. But today we're going to answer a few questions and get some of the massive wisdom that's trapped up behind Mr. Luce and Mr. Bruce, and be able to hear how it is that we can brew some solutions today. But I'm excited to be here. What about you, Fred?
I'm beyond excited. You know, I've been traveling all morning. I'm 10 minutes from the location, so I was hoping to get there in time to be able to do the show, but I'm here. I got about 20% left of my battery, but I'm a solutionary, and this is what I do. I love getting excited about life. Worst case scenario, I jump on my phone and I'm live. That's technology. Those are tools, and that's what we're going to talk about today, folks. And that's the power of using your resources. And man, we have some great resources that we're going to talk about today in this show. We have Larry Bruce, who's a mastermind when it comes to those types of stuff. And of course, like Lou said, the way it rhymes, and Jeff Loose, because he's going to bring in, he's going to break it loose for all of us so we can understand a little bit more too. So I'm excited. This is going to be a great conversation, Lou. Let's brew.
Let's go.
Yeah, if we'd have thought about it when we first met, we would have known this was destiny, right? Nobody thought far ahead. I mean, of course, we were probably drinking at the time, so it may have been that. There could have been some of that going on. I can't neither confirm nor deny.
Awesome. Well, today we got some fresh brew, something talking about over here, something that I know that we've heard, especially the acronyms. I mean, between the military and the auto industry, acronym city, everybody.
Yeah, no doubt.
But there is this one that we're going to bring some definition to today. So, Larry, help kind of spearhead the subject that we're talking about today.
Well, today we're talking about what's commonly known today in the auto industry as a CDP, or a customer data platform. Back in my day, when we first started this in '99, it was called a relational marketing database. The other acronyms of it, my personal favorite is Data Lake House. If I'm going to have any kind of thing, it will be a Data Lake House. So, but then you got Data Lake too. So you got Data Lake, Data Lake House, CDP, and relational marketing database.
What does it mean?
They're all the same thing. What does it mean? It means the data that your systems can collect. And, since the dawn of the technology and automotive industry, we've had this utopia thought of all of these systems working together instead of in silos, and all of the data being in one relational marketing database, CDP, etc., and everything working together. And that, over the last 25 years of my existence in technology and the car business, I've not seen that happen yet. Still, where I think in many cases, we're still just as far today, maybe a little closer, but and PSX is probably one step closer than that even. But it's not happening, and the thought is that this CDP is somehow going to bring it all together, somehow going to give the dealer control of that data, which they don't have control of today. It won't, and it isn't, and we're not moving that way because everybody has a different definition of what a CDP should be. But I don't think anybody would disagree where it starts. It starts with the data in your DMS. I mean, no one would say that transactional data is not important or it's not the place to get started. It's 100% the place to get started. Your CRM is the next place that comes in, the next data that comes in. But what the real sad thing about CRMs and across the board is that One, they're disjointed in that some CRMs now track email and text through their systems. Some don't. None track calls through their systems or recording of calls through their systems that I know of. None, they all have a very difficult time getting customers from the floor into the system. Generally, in most CRMs, you're going to see maybe a third to 20% of what comes on your floor actually makes it in there. So, when you think about what it comes down to is if it's up to the salesperson to get it into your CRM, it's not going to generally happen, except for about 20% of the time. So you run into this problem, and then when you look into it, the CRM either just keeps the information that is relevant to what they're trying to accomplish, which is I took an email, I sent an email, an email came in, an email went out, and some of these guys are trying to do that through Outlook, which is hard, much harder. So there's just these problems. So what should a CDP contain? Well, obviously customer data, and that's the main thing. But then if you're going to build a CDP, you can't build it without cleaning it first. So DMS data is riddled with duplicates, riddled with bad information, riddled with customers that are, don't live there anymore, don't work anywhere close to you anymore, and or don't even own the vehicle that they said that they bought 10 years ago anymore. So it's riddled with problems of inaccurate data. Then the CRM, well, it's got duplicate data. What's in the at least 50% of it, what's in the DMS. And so even if you do bring in your CRM data, well, then it's duplicated with what's in the DMS. And how do you get that deduped? And then how do you get that what is important in the CRM into the single customer record that you're looking for? Then finally, once you do that, then you got to find out, do they still own and maintain that vehicle? This was something, AIM Data, my first company, pioneered way back in the 90s, in the late 90s, early 2000s. We actually worked with Polk at that time to build a thing when it was sold to rentals called VIN title transfer, which would allow us to find out, does that customer still own that vehicle anymore? So then once you do all of that, okay, that's just the first part. And here's what's so funny to me is that these people that are talking about CDPs and building out CDPs, all you did was go get the data, and you think, okay, well, my job is now done. I've got the data. It's useless until somebody turns that into information. So somebody, first of all, starts segmenting the data. Existing customers, potential customers, leases coming due, purchases coming due, purchase term completed, existing service customers who did not buy from the store, conquest customers, potential customers that we can contact through email, potential customers we can contact through direct mail, potential customers we can contact through text. You got to turn that data into information. Then once you turn the data into information, how do you activate it?
So it's
which ones of these customers should we talk to? How do we
actionable data?
Yeah, actionable data. Activation is actionable data.
And when you say actionable data, you then have to put together processes that take action on your data, right?
Right. Oh yeah. You're not done yet. Once you've got action data, now you got to act. And that's probably the most important part of this deal, which none of these CDP guys seem to do. Oh, we're just going to build this API, and all these marketers and all these people are going to connect to your API. No, they're not. They're not. I can tell you right now, as being having two former marketing companies that I sold to rentals, we would not go, just like we didn't try to run around and connect to every single CRM that was out there, because at that time there were hundreds. So building a connection to every one of these quote unquote CDPs for these CDP companies, we're not going to do it. Well, now we'll tell the CDP guy, here's my data, or here's my API information. You can code to me. but I'm not coding to you. And then if you're coding to me and you're bringing the data in, then, then you realize at that point, not only did you lose control of the data as a dealer, but now they are your segmentation process, because they have to go in and grab the data. Then they're the ones that are going to make it actionable or activate them. And then they're the ones that are going to turn around and make action on it. So if you decide to change providers, then they've got to just start all over. No history. There will be no history of what happened in the customer record from the prior marketing company that activated and acted.
Right.
It's all with them. And the likelihood that they're going to share it back to your CDP, minimal. And if they do share it back to your CDP, is your CDP set up to act on it? Does it have lead organization? Do you really, you know how hard it is to organize leads? These leads do you guys know what STAR is? Have you ever heard of STAR standards?
STAR standard. Tell us about it.
It's not shocking that you never heard of it. It never really got anywhere.
Sounds like it's a NBA. I don't know. All-Star game, is that where we're going?
Yeah. So oddly enough, back in the early 2000s, a organization, a non-profit organization, was set up inside the automotive industry called STAR Standards. And STAR Standards' job was to standardize data across the multiple DMSs, the multiple CRMs, the multiple marketing agencies, so that data could be shared freely across across all these vendors and all these providers who are trying to help the car industry along, right? The one thing that they only got one thing done. They never got DMS standardized, never. But the one thing they did get done was what you guys have heard of before, called ADF, Auto Dealer Format, the way we transfer leads into a CRM. That was a standard back in the early 2000s. The problem is that then once that standard was adopted, and a lot of people adopted it, we use it today. Once that standard was adopted, it was never kept up because STAR never got off the ground. STAR, that was the only thing they were able to get done, but they were dead before they were done, and they were dead. Look, I'm not afraid to say it. I love my Reynolds brethren just like anybody else would. I tell you right now, but make no mistake about it, they killed it. So did CDK or ADP at the time, and so did all the DMSs killed it. It was not in their best interest to standardize data out of their system to somebody else. And it just wasn't. They were making money on data coming out. They didn't have to code to them. They didn't have to code to you. You coded to them. There was just no reason to do this for them. No good business reason. Back in the day, I know you guys have never heard of Ocentrics. There's only a few of us that know them, but they were STAR Standards before even STAR Standards came along. They were going to standardize the idea of data, cross data between DMSs, and they were going to be the middleman. In the banking world, there's a company called Cirrus that standardized the ability for you to go to any ATM and get money no matter what bank you were with.
Yep.
And that was Ocentrics. They were going to do the same thing and get a little transaction fee. And it was a guy named Dan Seitz, who was the car guy at the time. And there was another guy, and I can't remember his name who was the CEO. It wasn't Ocentrics. It was Oxlow, by the way. I got that one wrong. Ocentrics was a DMS an online DMS that I bought and tried to build out in 2002. That's a whole other matter. Whole other story. Oh my God. You have no idea. Anyway, so Oxlow was going to do this. And anyway, at the end of the day, Oxlow, they folded up. They never got it done. I told Dan at the time, you're never going to get this done. It's not in any DMS's best interest to do this for you. So you got this big problem with data standardization that will constantly be a problem.
Yeah.
And in the industry. It doesn't matter it doesn't matter how many CDPs you build, how good you think your CDP is. It will not have all of the data it needs because, number one, a lot of these, I would be willing to, I've not met one of these CDP players yet who really knows what data they should have in there, number one. Number two, I've not many of them that understand lead organization. I mean, it's not just the number of leads, but you got to have source, category. You got source, category, campaign, and channel. You need it all. I haven't met one yet that even knows what I'm talking about when I say it. So
I love that.
So it's just there's so much that doesn't get tracked. Your CDP is basically whatever they're building for is basically useless.
So,
But here's the cool thing about some stuff that's happened recently, though. Data is automatic. You can get that out automatically and bring it in. You can clean it automatically. You can write a program to clean it automatically and bring it in. You can write a program to segment it automatically. You can write a program to kind of halfway. So segmentation kind of halfway gets you the information. And then from there, it's just, you can write visual programs that will help a person look at it and turn it into information, but it still takes a person to do it. You can't really automate the activation for it. You can kind of, but not really. And then there's no way in hell anybody's going to, or has it up until recently been able to automate. There's no way to automate. There hasn't been a way to automate the action part of this.
I believe that,
right?
And
it's people, and that makes it prohibitively expensive, right?
It does. When you start putting people where you can't get it to be automated, because when you could just write code, that's good forever. You don't have somebody to pay by the hour or somebody who's going to make mistakes. The code's going to be the code. And Jeff, I know you got something to chime in on this one.
I do. What I love about Larry is he understands how the watch is built, why the watch is built, and all that behind the scenes stuff was great. But I want to tie it together what I think he's trying to say for the masses that aren't as smart as he is. What I heard through all of that is that if you do build a CDP, that's amazing. But if you build a CDP and you own it and it's clean, great, actionable data, you want to do that within a bundled solution that's going to own your marketing. It's going to drive your traffic through the website. It's going to manage your floor traffic and make sure it's one continual customer effort that deals with things like format, to where in real time we're then updating the information and making sure as things change in the world, we're marketing to that. So it's an intuitive, smart system. So I think the point that I heard was that getting all that built is great. It sounds fancy, but if you don't build it in the right place, it's going to use it and keep it updated and continue to use it from the website, from the floor. As the updates happen, it's not going to be nearly as valuable. It sounds pretty, but as Larry always says, we don't build reports to look pretty. We build our reports to be actionable data that's going to help you run your store and sell more vehicles. So I think that's what I heard. Correct me if I'm wrong.
I think that's dead on. And Larry is that guy, what you just said there at the end. It's not about making it look pretty. It's about results. Period.
Yes.
And it's about communication. And I love the story you told us, Larry, about how, companies were trying to be the middlemen for that. Right. But man, DMSs were like, nah, I don't really need you. It's unfortunate because I get it's a great idea. I mean, the idea to be able to communicate.
It was a fantastic idea back then, but
the actual implementation is hard.
But everybody's running a business, trying to get paid. Where's the value for them to do it that way? I mean, it's unfortunate, but it's probably true.
Yeah, the business reasons didn't align, and that's just what it came down to. The business reasons didn't align, and it's not just got to be good for everybody. The business reasons has to align too. Amen. And when they don't, it doesn't get done. Nobody funds it. Nobody wants to adopt it. So it's done. You're kind of are where you are. Unfortunately, that was where we ended up. And so today, even the STAR standards, even ADF, isn't standardized anymore. I mean, it's outdated because it only carries source. It doesn't carry category. It doesn't carry channel. It doesn't carry campaign. You have to add those to the ADF XML tags. So, if you're not adding that, and then of course, what I mean by campaign is not what one other guy means by campaign, some other CDP company, and it's not what that other guy. So it's completely most of the most important part of this stuff completely unstandardized now, or non-standard. And so now we're back to the problem. It's all comes down to what that carrier or that particular company that's doing your marketing, what they figured out from your data. All you did was give them a way to access your data. They already had pretty much a way to access the data you're already giving them in the CDP anyway.
Right.
They already had it. They can pull it out of your CRM or pull it out of your DMS, and you're not giving them much more than that. And they need far more than that. But here's so getting back to the cool thing. The cool thing is with AI, what we've managed to figure out over the last 5 years we've been doing it, is that AI can really start, when trained properly, can start to not just take the data that you have cleaned and ready to go, but actually turn it into information automatically. And then once it turns it into automation, automatically can actually activate and act all at the same time. As long as you understand what the points of AI are. The problem is there's not just one type of AI. There's actually 25 different types of AI. PSX uses 4 different types of AI. And there's thousands of names for these types of AI too. And so it makes it really confusing. But
but what are these 4? What are the 4 that PSX uses?
The 4 we use are what we coin as logical or cognitive AI. And a cognitive or logical AI takes the data, looks across the organization, and brings the important analyzes the data, brings the important points to the manager, to the dealer that they need to be looking at. It also helps analyze the customer interaction, analyze their engagement, and determine if this customer is hot or not. It also helps, so it helps Alma. It's all wrapped up in Alma, a automated lead management system, or automated lead management assistant. It's all wrapped up in her. She's the cognitive AI, and her job is to assist the sales team. And she's been doing that really well for the last 5 years. And very, very trained. But she's about a 2.5-year-old right now. That's how much she knows. She knows, she gets inputs, she does outputs. She sees things that need to be done. She tells you they need to do them. You tell her what needs to happen. She makes that happen. She consistently makes that happen. But she's not much smarter than that now. But recently, we've been able to add Sammy, which is the smart automated marketing engine, as the actionable engine. And Sammy's kind of graduated, Alma to a 5.5 to 6-year-old now. Now Sammy can take data from Alma. Right, she's a kindergartner, right? She can take data from Alma and with a set of crayons, and really start to engage the customer, and rudimentally look for that engagement back. They can have that small back and forth of trying to get positive or negative feedback from the customer. Do you have more? For example, bad credit. We'll use a subprime hero here. There's only 2 ways to really overcome bad credit. Either 1, we find a cosigner, or 2, we get more down payment. I mean, that's really it. I mean, you can do other things like fix your credit, and you can do a lot. Those take longer. But if I want to sell you a bike or a car within the next 60 days, down payment or a cosigner. Those are your only choices. Yeah. At the end of the day, that's it. And Alma can have conversations. If you're a bad credit customer, do you have more down payment or do you have a cosigner? If they give you a positive answer, she can then get to a salesperson and say, hey, look, Fred has more down payment. Would you like to talk to Fred right now to put the deal together? But now she's got to engage Fred, because Fred's got to take it. She's not smart enough to do what Fred does. So she's got to engage Fred and get Fred on the phone with the guy to take care of it. Which is when
we would ideally want Fred to be involved in that conversation. And that's the balance between this, is to be able to make sure that we do take the technology to be able to pitch the ball at just the right speed for us to be able to knock it out of the park. Just being able to run fast and run accurate doesn't mean that it helps anybody. If you're pitching it at 100 miles an hour, it's not going to actually get the chance to be struck. The entire purpose is to try to create the opportunity for us to hit the ball head on more often. And Jeff, I see the wheels spinning back there, Jeff. So go ahead, please chime in. And we do have that jumped up.
I was nodding because you were doing a really nice job of breaking it out. Technology is always going to do the heavy lifting, but at the end of the day, it doesn't take people out of the equation. If you think of our core model, if you can take 80% of the workload off of a salesperson with data and management and things they don't like to do and give them the 20% they do now to sell deals, and Alma can bring that back in 6 months when she asks her 84 times different ways that did you get a down payment or a cosigner, and then automatically connect him so he can do his job. That's his favorite part of the job that makes him money anyway. So just does the heavy lifting. Salespeople still have to be there.
Right. And so, but see, the problem with Alma is she's going to, the good part about Alma, she's going to engage the customer consistently the same way every single time. Or Sammy's going to engage the customer based on what Alma tells him every single time, the same way, the same time. So Sammy's going to do the job. He's going to be told to do this job, and then he's going to do that job. You're not going to have to ask him, hey, Sammy, did you do that job? Just like today, did you call that customer? Did you talk to that guy? What about the guy in the blue hat? Did you get a hold of him? You don't have to do that. Sammy's going to he's going to get hold of them. And he's even smart enough to realize you're not answering an email. So how about I follow up in text, because you might be off in the promotionals tab, or you may be blocking me and spam and you don't even know it. So if I'm not getting an open, I can engage the customer through SMS now.
That's where it gets fascinating to me, is that all the things that they, again, are learning. So I open a text at 9 o'clock, more likely on a Tuesday morning, and everybody else automated systems are set up to send it to me at 1 o'clock on a Wednesday afternoon. The system now starts to learn all that. And hey, they stopped answering my emails. Maybe I'll try it. So they understand all these things. We never have a way to know. And all the people at a sales store will tell me, oh, it's all in my head. Well, great. You don't have the depth and breadth of knowledge to keep track of all this for any long period of time. For the depth of people, the 80 people you drop on the floor, that's great. You got it for the 20 you sold, but you're going to lose track of it all. You couldn't possibly do all that the right way.
Yeah, I mean, it's all in my head. So you challenge the card guys. Cool. Figure out your customer's payment all in your head right now. Oh. With everything, right? Yeah, we don't do that now.
It's about $500 a month.
Right. Yeah, I mean, you go through this and you think about it. And so Sammy's smart enough now to do that, but then Sammy gets a little bit smarter. Okay, so Sammy gets extends that education and that smarts a little bit more by being able to track and see what day of the week each customer. Now you're getting down to the customer level. What day of the week each customer normally opens that email? What time of the day do they normally open that email? And so Sammy's now sending the message at the right time at the right day of the week on the right time of the day to get the message open more frequently. So, Sammy's smart enough. So Sammy's now we've moved from cognitive AI to machine learning, which is a part of AI. It's probably the oldest part of AI, but you're using machine learning now to understand when to deliver the message. Here's what triggered the message. This is what the message should be about, but then when. So now utilizing the cognitive information that Alma's gotten and collected and giving that to Sammy and having Sammy figuring out what time of the day and what day of the week I should deliver this. And if they're not opening it, what should I do next? So it's good. Now, like I said, we're at a 6.5-year-old, we're 6.5, 7-year-old. We haven't even made it to first grade yet, but we've got enough going on to where, more people are seeing our message. More people are opening our message, and we're giving them a timely message at the right time with the right with good information. But we didn't ever engage. The personalization part of it we missed because Sammy's not smart enough to be personalized yet. And then we added the last piece and this is so freaky to me.
Watchmakers excited about this piece.
Yeah. So we recently added, and we're testing out right now, Elo. stands for eloquent messaging, and actually stands for email or electronic messaging quality. They've got a great acronym for it. It's just, I mean, we're literally just now coming and getting this together, but it stands for eloquent. So we call her Elo, and Elo's job is to take all of the interaction data. How did you get a hold of the customer? How many times did it take to get a hold of the customer? Family, occupation, recreation, motivation, animals, teams, all of this information connected to the CRM. Because everybody thinks the CRM is the place all this should happen, that the email should come out of the CRM. No, the last place your emails should come out of is your CRM. That's actually more of a function of your database, not your CRM. Too many dealers, their CRM is their database, but that doesn't have the DMS data. It's so crazy, right? So Eloquent now looks across all of this and creates that personal touch, changes that message. Now we're using generative AI to actually talk to the customer, not at them.
Boom.
About what they want to talk about, right?
Yeah. You see, you combine these three pieces of AI into the fourth piece of that AI is the interaction or the informative piece that keeps up with all of this that's going on and lets managers know, what do I need to do next?
Boom.
That's that, and it's because it's just analyzing the day. What do I need to do today? There's so many times we have this big goal of what we want to do this month. You get to the month by managing the day, every day. I heard a thing this weekend. One of my favorite guys on LinkedIn is a guy named Clint Burns, or I don't know, it's something Burns. Anyway, sales guy, super sharp guy. But he said, we all have to practice every single day. But then that's important, but you've got to execute, because execute's what matters on game day, and every day in the car business is game day.
That's right. That's the one thing. That's the one thing about this.
That's just double neat strong, man.
Right. That's right.
Every day is game day.
It is. Every day at the dealership is game day. And that's fact. You got to come ready.
It comes down to execution.
And I do love Wendy Reeves's comment over here, who did say, love it, Alma and Sammy, analyze the data and deliver actionable items to do now versus just reporting the KPIs. This is what our industry needs. Too many overstating what we are not doing. Tell us what to do now. Yes, right. Wendy. Beautiful.
And Wendy is absolutely right.
Great question.
And the reality is that now we can just do it. When it comes to you can just do it.
Come on, we're getting all
when it comes to communicating with customers, as a matter of fact, I've recently watched no message at all. Just Elo take the data that she gets out of PSX and literally write a message to a customer right out of thin air. And I was like, damn. And it was good. I mean, strong CTAs, everything you need to get it done.
Heck yeah.
And I was a little frightened a bit. I don't know. I always tell a dealer, if I ever make one of these that can actually just sell the car, you won't be able to afford it. And so, but I mean, we may be pretty damn close here. I don't know.
But since
it's edgy.
Yeah, since it is affordable now, though, Larry, Jeff, how does somebody get themselves signed up for it?
I mean, call me today. Yeah, call me today. We'll walk through it all. PSX. I mean, when I got involved, I've been watching these guys since the day they started it. I mean, it's just earth years ahead of where I thought a system like this could be today. Really with taking the ownership with artificial intelligence and making that all actionable from every pieces from your CRM to your website, tying to your DMS, and really owning your marketing message in one centric place that's contextually driven. And it's not just the right message to the right person at the right time, but it's using that personal relationship and things that are going to make it
It's
more
the
relatable.
way.
So yes,
Yeah,
call
that
them.
last-
Happy
the right
to
way.
walk you through it.
Call them.
Yeah,
Give 'em a
it's
call.
the right way.
That's right.
It's the right message at the right time, the right way.
I love it. I love it. Well, that sounds like Bruin Solutions, everybody. And we are so thankful that you have taken the time to spend with us, whether you're watching this live, you're listening to this on the podcast, you're watching the replay. We are so thankful that you have taken the time to hang out with us today as we do discuss what actually matters concerning CDPs and all of our other fun information behind the scenes. Because in the end of the day, everybody, we want to find a way to take care of people the way that they need to be taken care of and the way that helps propel our business and their life forward. And as we figure out how to team up with the technology to be able to tie all of this together, we want to make sure that we do actually make headway on being able to bring solutions that are viable, which are always adjusting. And just like Wendy is saying over here,
Thanks,
really
Wendy.
thoroughly enjoyed this conversation. Thanks, gents. And that's what we want to do. Do it in a way that we all enjoy it. Do it in a way that the customers enjoy it. Do it in a way that our business enjoys what it is that we're doing and how it is that we do it together. This has been a great conversation, gentlemen. We appreciate you so much. Fred, you got anything for our listeners before we head out?
Man, I just want to repeat one thing out there that Larry said. Every day at the dealership is game day. So
Game
be
day,
ready
baby.
every single day. Use your resources and get after it. Reach out to these two down here. I'm telling you, they have solutions for you. They are passionate about what they do. There's a reason why we decided to be part of the DealerCast podcast, because to me, what they're talking about and what they're trying to bring is more personal for you dealers. It's whether you're in power sports, whether you're in whatever you're in sales and you need this is for you. Automotive. Folks, reach out to me and Lou. We'll get you guys connected. We'll make sure that you guys have solutions inside your store. And if you need help with training, that's what we're here for. That's what Larry wants us for. And that's why we're here to help bring this to the next level, folks. And I'm an amplifier. I love what they're doing right now. They're doing some really big stuff, folks. So please make sure you guys reach out to us because it's going to be worth your time. I'm excited about it. If you guys want to get hold of Larry, you see that right there. Reach out to him. Make sure you guys reach out to him. Go to the website. Right here at the bottom, you see it, psxdigital.com. Set yourself up a demo. You owe yourself that, dealers. You owe yourself that, at least to learn what's going on and see what you could do better in your store. Because it doesn't matter what your CDP is if it's not connecting with your freaking DMS, if it's not connecting with your CRM, because it's just information just being lost. Get it right. Give them a call. Let's go.
That's
Nice recap.
Awesome recap. He's good at this, right? He's got a skill.
Done it a time or two.
He's got some skills at this. But everybody, we appreciate each and every one of you spending some time with us. So one thing left to do, we got to drop these F-bombs. Let's go ahead and fly away, everybody. On three, let's forgive, focus, fly. 1, 2, 3. Forgive, focus,
fly, and keep growing.
Growing.
Well, y'all got this down all the way. Let's go.
OJC. On-the-job coaching. OJC.
Yeah. OJ.
Fun.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you so
Appreciate
much.
you guys.
We will see you all soon. Keep brewing solution, everybody. We're
Yes.
out.